Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Matthew Boyle, and this is the Teaching Titans series, where I want to help you go from being a great teacher to being a teaching titan, or even a fantastic administrator, manager, director. I hope I won't be going too far out on a limb if I do that. I have been doing this academic director job for, I think, about 4 years now, and so I want to provide you with a little bit of insight and advice and something for us just to talk about. Today's video topic is 3 reasons why you would fail to become or fail at being an academic director, manager, supervisor, which is the role that I have, and we'll kind of reverse analyze or reverse deconstruct the failures and how we can avoid those failures and do a great job. Now, obviously, there's a lot of things we can talk about, skills and attributes you would need to succeed at this job. Obviously, you would have to be you need a mind that's great at organization, planning, time management. You need to be able to communicate promptly and clearly over email, over text, over phone, over video. You have to be patient, you have to be good with people. So those things are all pretty obvious. I want to talk more about 3 things that might be a little less obvious to you. They were certainly less obvious for me. And the first one is that to be able to move from being a teacher up into the administrative layer, you really can't be fazed anymore by typical problems that come up at the level that you're in. And an example, that's going to be an indicator of whether you're ready or not to move up. An example I can give you of this, very simple example, very typical example, you've probably experienced this yourself or with other teachers at your school, is that teachers might complain because they have a class at a certain time or day that they don't like, that they don't want, so they put up a fuss and they want to get it off their schedule. Let's just take that as a simple example. That happens a lot. So being fazed over these very typical kinds of problems, they'll make that teacher look not so good to others, and frankly, other teachers or even that teacher's supervisor or director, they're going to be the ones who have to pick up that class. So what I want to point out here is sometimes the things that teachers complain about, they're typical common problems, and it reveals that that teacher is not ready for more responsibility. And sometimes their inability to handle their own business and their own workload just creates more work for their supervisors. So if you're thinking about stepping into a supervisor type role, realize that all of a sudden you're going to have to be picking up the slack. Teachers who can't handle things or upset about certain things, you have to step in and do that. And as a supervisor, as a director, you're going to suddenly encounter all new things that faze you, like you would have when you were new at being a teacher. So when this happened to me, I realized that just as I went through the steps of being less and less fazed by things as a teacher, I need to start doing that sooner, faster now as a director. I need to analyze what are the typical problems that come up for me and figure out ways to move past it. So first step, learn how to not be fazed anymore by the typical problems that other teachers will complain about. You really have to move past those right away. The second thing would be, the second reason why you might fail to make it as an administrator, as a director, is because you lack the ability to deal with different types of people on the staff and different types of teachers. So an illustration I can give you is when I was a teacher. When I was a teacher, what I would try to do is just do the best teaching I possibly could and stay out of any drama and avoid teachers that I couldn't get along with. Well, it's not too bad a thing to do when you're a teacher, I guess, but as a supervisor, you don't have that type of luxury anymore. You have to be willing and able to engage, and often it's necessary to engage with everybody on the team, everybody on the staff. Everybody from all corners will be contacting you now because you sit at a nexus, you sit at an intersection. So you're going to have to deal with people who, as a teacher, you might have just avoided or not dealt with. So it requires a great increase in your interpersonal skills. There's teachers who are more confident, teachers who are more pushy, teachers who tend to complain more, teachers who are more shy, teachers who don't use email or text that much at all, so you have to get at them in person. So there's all different types of people, and you're going to be dealing with all of them. So a second piece of advice I would give you right now is, if you are still a teacher and you want to build those skills and be ready to move up, is start to connect to all the teachers on the team, learn how to befriend them, learn how to constructively help them and to communicate them, and build a little list of tactics and strategies that work. And that would greatly help you when and if you did move up to become their supervisor. And then the third thing that I would say is you might fail at this job because you have an inability to sort of navigate the no man's land between higher level administrators and teachers, or whoever your subordinates are. So if you are a director, supervisor, manager, you may be essentially what a lot of people call a middle manager. It's a middle management position. So above you, if your position is anything like mine, above you would be deans and principals, and below you would be teachers. So you're in the middle of those two groups, and teachers will be more wary of what they say around you, and they might not like to hang out with you as much anymore. They may see you differently because now they see you as being in the administrative layer. They're also going to want you to put up a fight for them and stick up for them and fight for their rights and help them to get their problems solved. Whilst the administrators are on the opposite side. They want you to be able to help communicate their message, their rules, their requirements, and let the teachers understand and comply and follow those rules and make things go smoothly. And a lot of administrators, they don't really want negotiation from the bottom. They really want compliance, especially in China, where there's very much a chain of command. It's much more authoritarian and traditional that way. So you will be in between bosses who want you to enforce their message upon the people below and without too many questions, and the people below you who want to push back and want their rights or want some greater benefits. It could be salary, it could be benefits, it could be something about classrooms, it could be something about schedules. So you will be basically in the crossfire. It can be kind of you kind of have to be an army of one in that regard. You have to be able to handle your own mentality, and you have to be okay with being sort of alone in the middle. Hopefully you might have some team members. I in fact do have 2 people that I work with who are in the same level and layer as me, so we can sort of jam with each other and come up with ideas about how to deal with these things. But realize there that you're not exactly a teacher anymore, and you're not totally a dean or a principal, someone who makes the important power decisions. You're kind of in the middle. So you're neither on one side or the other anymore. You're a different breed, and it comes with its pros and cons. One more thing I would like to add, and it goes back to not being fazed by typical problems anymore. It kind of connects back to that point, is that you would definitely need a way to help yourself to decompress from stress and from having a very busy, scatterbrained mind, from having a million things coming at you. And watching a lot of TV at night, in my mind, well, it's a certain kind of decompression, but it's maybe not the best kind. It's not very healthy for you, and it won't really restore you in the right way. You need effective ways to rest your mind and rest your body, take care of your psychology, take care of your happiness, so you can always come back to this very busy, hectic, stressful job fresh. It takes a high degree of stress management. You have to be able to handle increased complexity, increased stress, and diffuse that and sort of detoxify that from yourself, by yourself. And that will help you to not be fazed by things. Because what will happen if you're fazed by a lot of things is those things build up in your system until you explode, you snap, and you create a lot of problems. So that's a very important downside of being fazed by stuff. If you're often fazed by stuff, it will build up in you until you really fight. A fight breaks out or argument breaks out about something, creates some bad blood, somebody loses their job, leaves the school. So with ways to sort of decompress yourself daily, it could be journaling, it could be meditation, it could be jogging, it could be a sports team. These things will also help you to endure and remain in the position over time. All right, there's the bell. I guess that's my time to go. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you back here for the next episode. Bye-bye for now.